quote, he had everyone fooled, end quote. Oh. Fascinating. Let's get into this story here. Montgomery, Alabama. A former FBI agent was sentenced to life in prison Thursday for essaying an 11-year-old. Wow. While serving as an Alabama state trooper. He's a former FBI agent who, I'm going to tell you about this guy, his background. He worked for the FBI in Louisiana. One of his co-workers accused him of being a predator, of preying on her, of violating her, of essaying her. One of his former co-workers. They didn't prosecute this man. The FBI didn't prosecute this man right then. So he was allowed to become an Alabama state trooper and become a child predator. Oh, you don't believe that? You don't believe that? You don't believe that? Check this out. So I'm gonna show you this guy's name. I want you guys to see his name. Christopher Bauer. Christopher Bauer is a former FBI agent turned Alabama state trooper, right? Check this out. I want to show you. I just said that off the top of my head. I remember because I cover this story every single time. I covered this story every time I saw a story about this. I covered it every single time. So I become somewhat well versed with the story. So Bauer was arrested in 2021 facing similar essay charges outside of New Orleans. Louisiana State Police said they intended to extradite him following the Alabama case. During the Alabama trial, the child, who is now a young teen, testified she testified through tears that she was repeatedly essayed by Bauer for years. Right? So I want you to see, right? Alabama authorities have refused to explain how Bauer's earlier misconduct was overlooked. AP's investigation found he omitted his ouster from the FBI on his application to the state police, including that he had been suspended without pay and stripped of his security clearance in 2018 amid a string of essay allegations he faced while working in the FBI's New Orleans office. So this guy, right? One of his co-workers in the FBI accused him of violating her. And the FBI didn't prosecute this man. So he went on to be an Alabama state trooper where he preyed on a freaking child, 11-year-old. And this is all the FBI's fault. Had they simply did the right thing the first time. Many of the allegations played out in Louisiana court filings that had been public for a year when Bauer was hired in Alabama. The woman who accused him of essay, a co-worker at the FBI, wrote in the application for a restraining order that Bauer had choked her and made her scared for her life. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the co-worker who the FBI didn't even put this guy in prison over, Bauer, I want you to hear this part from the victim in Louisiana, his former co-worker at the FBI. Bauer disputed those claims, telling colleagues the acts were consensual. But the woman previously told AP that Bauer essayed her so frequently that her hair began to fall out. Yeah. This man, who's a former FBI agent turned Alabama state trooper who the FBI didn't prosecute the first time, did this to people. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of the cops you see out there on the streets right now are just like him. Because you see that if even the FBI didn't do shit, do you think your local sheriff's department is? Your local police department is? This man's a former FBI agent. turned Alabama state trooper. He went from the FBI to a state trooper, and no one stopped this man. There were multiple court documents, and a former co-worker who worked with him at the FBI, another field agent, told the FBI this man was a predator, and they allow him to go into another law enforcement job, whereas he targeted a child. This is why no one trusts cops. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Former FBI agent. This is why people don't trust cops, right? So this man's working for the FBI. A co-worker of his says he essayed her. The FBI doesn't prosecute him. They don't put him behind bars. They merely suspend him without pay. This man then goes on to the Alabama State Patrol as an Alabama State Trooper. He essays an 11-year-old. But coming to find out, there's a whole trail of it. And now we're finding out more and more that the average cop is a POS. You want to know how I know that them targeting children is not unusual? Here, I'm going to show you something real quick. I want you to see this. The Washington Post just released a piece about this. So this is from the Washington Post. This was released a little minute ago. Let me give me a second. Let me go to archive.org. I'm gonna archive this. Search this out. There we go. So it's called Abused by the Badge, right? So I'm gonna show you right now how often police officers are PDF files. It's very common. I'm sorry, MAGA. I'm sorry, police officer, freaking worshipers. It's the truth. I have actual stats behind me this time, right? So let's actually look into it, right? Let's look into it, right? Bowling Green State University, they took 17,700 cases of police officers, sheriff's deputies, law enforcement officers in general in this country who committed a wider range of freaking crimes, right? 1 in 10 of those officers were charged with a crime involving essaying a kid. 1 in 10 out of 17,700. So before you defend a single police officer, I'm going to call you a predator too. Because I'm not even somewhat into it, and I'm guarantee you some scumbag out there who's hearing this, they're already just saying, oh, it must not be true. This type of misconduct has largely gone unrecognized by the public and unaddressed within the criminal justice system. Right? And to show you how common this is, in case you don't understand, I want to show you how common this is. Because I got an article right now on Newsbreak. So it's called Unmasking Police Sexual Violence, a Silent Epidemic. This is my article on Newsbreak. Yep, I got an article on Newsbreak. Same place they put CNN articles, MSNBC, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm actually that good. So this pamphlet here, this actual executive guide, is written by the International Association of Chiefs of Police. So it's police officers and chiefs of police from across the whole globe, and it's DOJ funded. Why is this executive guide so important? Why am I showing you this? Because if you were to read this, right, they tell you how often you have predators as police officers in this country. The introduction, right? In the introduction by the International Association of Chiefs of Police, right? And mind you, a lot of the people here are police chiefs, right? And experts. In the introduction, the first sentence, right? I want to highlight this. The problem of sexual misconduct by officers warrants the full attention of law enforcement leadership. Why would they say that in the first sentence? In the first sentence. And if you want to, again, I will show you how to find this guy, but again, I want to go down to the background. The first sentence of the background will definitely shut up all these people who defend police officers, because the bottom line is the only way that you can do that after hearing this is to be a predator yourself. Background: reoccurring accusations of sexual offenses implicating law enforcement officers were noted with concern by the Office on Violence Against Women of the U.S. Department of Justice, which funded the International Association of Chiefs of Police to examine the problem of sexual offenses and misconduct, and to develop resources to assist law enforcement leaders in investigating and preventing incidents. So, once again, yes, there's a problem with predators in U.S. law enforcement. Anyone who says otherwise is a liar. Because they're the ones who are saying it now, not me. Not me. So, my thing is, yes, it's long been a problem within U.S. law enforcement. It's long been a problem. Long been a problem. Long been a problem. I guarantee you a good bit of cops that you know are predators just like this guy. Because when cops aren't fired, look, this guy worked for the FBI, goes on to be an Alabama state trooper, and no one along the whole time fired this guy. They only suspended him indefinitely. No one put him on trial. No one did. So how many law enforcement officers, how many cops, how many sheriff's deputies, how many police officers, how many FBI agents, how many CIA agents, how many Secret Service guys, how many U.S. Marshals, how many Border Patrol agents are child predators just like this guy? How many? How many? How many? Do you even know? You just trust these people because they have badges. That's it. Because they have this imaginary authority to make you listen to them because they have a gun and the right to shoot you. That's it. That's not reverence, that's fear. These people can be anybody, as you can see. So when people like me put scrutiny on them, don't shut me down, don't shut me up, listen. That's a problem. When you get former FBI agents who become Alabama state troopers and they do this to freaking kids, it's a problem. It's a problem because now I gotta ask the question: okay, who did he work with? They didn't prosecute him with the freaking FBI when he was preying on his freaking coworker, when he was violating his freaking coworker. So how many other FBI agents in Louisiana are just like him? How many? How many? How many? How many? How many? Like, for example, in my chat here, I have this guy, William Scott. He says, not all cops are bad, not all are corrupt. Sir, we are talking about a former FBI agent who became an Alabama state trooper who has been sentenced to life in prison. If the first response you have is to defend cops, you are a predator. If you can't, even in that moment, just say, all right, bro. All right. You got this one. You got this one. I could pick another story. Maybe a police shooting, maybe something like that. I could pick another story to defend cops, not this one. Jesus, just for once in your life, William, and everyone who's like him, just please, once in your life, let the criticism of cops go through. And I guarantee you, if you do that enough, it won't be so commonplace. People are reacting because you will defend them even with stories like this. Sometimes shutting up is the best option. Because when you bring up a story like this and someone is a freaking parent, they're going to instantly look at you sideways. Instantly. I have children. So yes, I have opinions about this, and you really can't say anything to me as a man yourself. If you have kids yourself. A man has a right to be angry with this kind of stuff. A man does. A boy would lecture a man about doing so. William. Jesus, I mean, even with a story like this, you still can't criticize cops without somebody popping up. Well, not all of them. Have you noticed that it's only cops that you can't criticize, right? You can say that all Marines are empty-headed because they're called jarheads. You can call Air Force guys lazy because we call them the freaking chair force. I know, I was in the freaking Army. By the way, Army guys are stereotyped. We are all told that we pay child support and that we all drive Dodge Chargers. The Coast Guard is called lazy. You can and the Navy guys, they're all called gay. You can stereotype members of the armed services, but the moment you say a cop, well, hashtag not all. Jesus Christ. That is called hardcore government propaganda. If you want to know the effects of propaganda, it's when I'm talking about a story like this. A guy who's a former FBI agent who became an Alabama state trooper who essayed an 11-year-old who was already in trouble with the law because he essayed one of his co-workers at the freaking FBI. The FBI did not prosecute him, so they allowed him. They allowed this man to become an Alabama state trooper, right? Well, he targeted a child, and yet you still have someone in here who is still defending cops. Jesus Christ. Like, there's so many other channels out there who are criticizing cops based on police brutality. If you want to just defend cops and not look like a predator and not look like a freaking PDF file, right? You would pick those live streams or those videos to show up. You don't show up here right now. He got life in prison. Understood. That's not the problem here. The problem here is that this man, as you can see, William, this man was an FBI agent at one point, and he essayed one of his co-workers, right? William, I'm going to highlight it because I understand that for some folks, reading is not, like fundamental. He was an FBI agent. He essayed one of his co-workers, and they didn't prosecute him then, which allowed him to become an Alabama state trooper and target a child, you moron! That's the point! Like, if you can't understand why someone would still be angry, even though he got life in prison, William, and William is still chirping in the chat right now. He's like, and he is going to jail for the rest of his life. What more do you want? That's what William said. Okay, and now William's saying, no, I understand your anger. Then shut up, William. Stop talking. That's the best option. Because you're not looking less of a freaking PDF file at this point. Like, that's just, there's some things that you troll on. This is not one of them. Stop. Like, that's just, it's just weird now. Like, I've tried to put up with it, man. William, I have, man. And I just want you to know, man, it's been nice, but no. See, people like William, people like that, you can't let that. I almost got, whew, I lost my temper there, because I don't like it when you have grown men, especially because William had over 1,000 followers. When you have grown men saying stuff like that, or like trolling, like that's a bad look. And this is why a lot of people, especially people who are on the right like William, because I went to his channel, he's very much a freaking Trump supporter. Not shocking, but when you have guys like that who are Trump supporters pop up, this is why people call you weirdos. This is why they call you weird. You can't get mad at me if I'm just calling a spade. That was weird, bro. That was weird. Why do I have so many people out there who are Republicans who are so willing to defend police officers even in cases like this? Hey, man. Republicans, y'all got to deal with that yourself. All right? Y'all got to deal with that yourself. All right?
A-C-A-B, don't you step to M-E. I run to your sundown towns, then turn them upside down. But some of y'all monsters like Stranger Things in the upside down. No surrender, no retreat. Certified soldier, got receipts. You can't walk on my feet. I pack lumber steel for the heat. I'm not soft, I'm elite. Play my anthem on repeat. Now sing it with me. A-C-A-B. Hating is just weak, get off my meat, go take a seat. Came from nothing, now it's something. Descendant of slaves, enemy slayed, it's just how I was raised. Black power, temperature raised, beautiful yet bloody days. That's why I can't be tamed, none of it was ever a game. A-C-A-B, don't step to me, ancestral power through me. Big dog, big man, big money. Now feel the teeth, can't be me, can't see me. Best option with me, it's soft and peace stands. I'm reaping what my life leads. I'm grim reaping white supremacy. A-C-A-B.